In this video, I'll be continuing the Aristeia painting series with Hippolyta. Hippolyta was the queen of the Amazon warriors in Greek mythology, who also inspired the DC superhero Wonder Woman. This Aristeia iteration takes clear inspiration from both. She has a strong Wonder Woman aesthetic mixed with Greek armament carrying sword and shield. As with all my painting of Aristeia characters, I wanted to stay close to the colour schemes of the art. However, Hippolyta's main piece of artwork has a washed out colour palette that isn't representative of the model. But if we look at her tactic cards, we can see artwork that is more in keeping with the art style of Aristeia. Using these, I can choose the colours that I want to use. So, let's get on with the painting. Hippolyta's clothing is white with an underlying purple, so I began with a base coat of a medium purple. I then base coated her skin with a dark brown. Finally, I marked out the gold in her armor with a brown ochre. With most of the basing complete, I ran a wash of purple over her clothing. This then fell into most of the recesses, so we can begin building contrast. I decided that I wanted to have her weapons look like steel, but I didn't want to just paint them in contrasts of grey, as they would seem dull in contrast to her gold. If I painted them in contrast of blue, then it may give a greater impact, so I undercoated them in a light blue-grey. With all the basing down, I worked on specific colours over the model, starting with the purple on her clothing. I made a range of colour from light purple to white and highlighted through this range, trying to highlight where I thought light would fall the most. After all the clothing was highlighted, I returned to the skin and face. I carefully brushed in the whites of the eyes with ivory. I then made a skin tone range from a medium brown up to a flushed red skin tone. I then used this range to highlight the face and the body. I then finished the face off with some purple lipstick, dotted the eyes with black, and then a final cleanup around the eyes. It is now time to get started on the non-metallic metal. I shaded the gold parts of Hippolyta's armor with a brown wash and then looked to the silver parts. I'm not confident with painting non-metallic silver, but there is no better way to get better than to practice and experiment. I've always been a bit too conservative with my approach to silver and stuck with greys. So to get me out of my comfort zone, I went with a bright blue. I then chose my reflection spots by mixing a little white into the blue and continue adding blends up to pure white. Although not perfect, it is my best attempt yet at painting a saturated blue steel. To paint the gold, I used a more familiar technique of highlighting the reflections with an ochre yellow, moving up to yellow and eventually ivory. After I had finished the gold, I decided to add one more reflection on the bottom of the shield's center sphere. It was looking flat, and the added reflection at the bottom gave it a more three-dimensional look. All I had to do then was complete the base with some sand, paint, flock, and a grass tuft, and Hippolyta was finished. I hope you enjoyed following the painting of Hippolyta. Let me know of what you think in the comments down below, and I hope I can knock out another video in the near future.